Commercial real estate moves on information asymmetry. The institutions that see the signal before the market does win. The ones relying on broker opinions and static spreadsheets underwrite the same way they did in 2005. Velasight changes that. What you are looking at is a live graph: 370,000 Atlanta parcels, 800,000 nodes, 55 million edges, connecting ownership, spatial adjacency, transit corridors, and environmental signals into a single, queryable intelligence layer. This is not a map. It is a decision graph with a map on top of it, led by a single query.
Velasight decision intelligence initialized. I'm connected to the Atlanta property graph. Which property are we analyzing today?
Let's analyze 125 Mitchell Street.
I'm accessing the Velasight graph now to analyze that address. One moment.
The GraphSage graph, neural network, just traversed the ownership graph in under 10 seconds.
All right, here's what we're looking at with 125 Mitchell Street Southwest. This is a 5.6 acre multifamily asset sitting in Census Tract 3500, right in the heart of downtown Atlanta. On paper, you've got 162 units across 146,000 square feet, assessed at just over $15 million. The headline cap rate comes in at 11.87%, and I know that looks appetizing in this yield-starved market, but we need to talk about what that number is actually telling us. That cap rate isn't signaling opportunity, it's signaling distress. The Velasight Monte Carlo engine ran 10,000 scenarios on this asset, and the mean exit cap rate projects at 12.54%. That's cap rate expansion, not compression, meaning the market is pricing in deterioration, not stabilization. And here's the critical data point. We're seeing a 100% structural trap probability. That's not a risk assessment. That's a quantified certainty of value impairment. Now, this property does have positive network position.
Let's try this. A multi-family redevelopment play with a density matrix boost, 70% loan to value at a 6% interest rate.
All right, let me run the redevelopment underwriting with those parameters. 70% loan to value, 6% interest rate, and we'll model the density matrix boost under the SPI 1 zoning envelope.
A comparable search would not find this. Every analysis produces an 8-page institutional report: executive verdict, spatial signature, forecast and uncertainty, ownership and capital, environmental intelligence, 7 signals, net operating income adjustment, GNN profile, and LIHTC spread compression. Model transparency, calibration plots, feature attribution, full model card. This report leaves an investment committee the insight to ask the right questions, not search for answers across disconnected data sources. Transparency is not a weakness. Model outputs are attributed, documented, and separated from the generative narration layer. Velasight is designed for compliance with SR 26-2. Every signal contribution is shown, signed, and attributed. Every bar is a term in the logit equation. The verdict is the sum. The ownership change reversal, from parcel to registered entity, analyze the same query. A title attorney would take days to complete. Now watch what the same graph architecture does when the asset class changes entirely. The same architecture now identifies data center candidate sites across the Netherlands. The same graph engine, different signals. Across the full Amsterdam Haarlemmermeer corridor from a single graph traversal. This site, Hoofddorp Bokenhorst Oost, Haarlemmermeer, scores develop, power friction score 84. The dominant signal, climate at 93. Look at the signal breakdown. Fiber latency 0.92. Direct access in the AMSIX corridor. Transit access 0.92. Schipol adjacent. Income gradient, 0.93. The Haarlemmermeer economic zone is attracting high-value commercial activity. NIMBY risk is 0.19, the lowest friction signal in the corridor. Power capacity scores 0.83. Proximate infrastructure in the corridor was sized for light industrial, not hyperscale compute. In the Netherlands, a new 50 to 100 megawatt draw means one conversation with a nexus before you move to heads of terms. The score tells you the opportunity is real and precisely where the work starts. The land constraint at 81, flag site, assembly, complexity. But the graph has already identified 3 adjacent parcels in the corridor. Manageable, not a deal killer. The spider chart is the geometry of the investment thesis. Strong fibre, strong climate efficiency, strong transport, minimal opposition. 3 adjacent parcels already mapped. Velasight found the assemblage before the market did. Medical office is up next, with groundwork currently being laid in the Miami metropolitan market. The model does not replace the underwriter. It gives the underwriter something they have never had before, a complete, attributed, probabilistically calibrated signal, derived from the actual ownership and spatial graph of the market before the market prices it in. That is the edge. Velasight.